Hello, darlings. So I just did a partial diary there and started choking. So I'm taking that as two signs. First off, I moved the incense out of the room and got some air going in here. I think that was partially smoke in my lungs. And the other thing is, I don't think it's time yet for me to speak about that. So it's on body. It's a topic on body stuff. And I will certainly speak about that, but I'm actually sensing that it's wanting to be spoken about in a more properly fleshed out container. As I mentioned in my last one of my last videos about the direction of the Phoenix Diaries and wanting to maybe create more of a structure as far as like, okay, the next five diaries are going to be about body image and then structuring it out and fleshing it out that way. So I sense that that is a big topic that deserves more than just one diary. So maybe that's why. But what I would like to share today is also equally important, and I think I can do it mini style. So, excuse me, I may stop for water breaks. um, Yesterday, I went to lunch with a beloved, and I was sitting there with her, and we were talking, and I've known this person for a very long time. So when you know someone for a while, you know their energy, you know their baseline as far as emotions go, and you know when they're high, low, you just understand someone with through time. So I could kind of sense there was something slightly off, maybe not necessarily low emotionally, but just something was off. And I was listening to her speak and, I was sharing as well. And we were conversing and having some lunch. And I sort of felt myself go into my shadow of my 20. And my 20 is my life's work. I've done a Phoenix Diary on the 20, but the 20 is one of those gene keys that is a pivotal foundational rib in the body of all the other keys. It acts as a really important support bone in the structure of all the other keys. And so the 20 is important for all of us. It is about presence. And the gift is self assuredness, and the shadow is superficiality. So, superficiality, self assuredness, the city is presence. And I felt myself going into my shadow of superficiality, which is essentially where I have a mini death. I freeze over. I'm physically there, but mentally not there. And I've known this person so long. I know when and why I do it with her. And typically it's around something very stressful that's being spoken about, and I don't want to go there. I don't want to feed into the story. It could be something kind of gossipy, and I'm, again, not wanting to go there, so I'll sort of just space out and zone out and let her speak, but not participate. This time, though, I started to freeze over and have this mini death superficially imposed in the now moment because I could sense what she was saying and the stories she was saying and the words she was saying was inauthentically aligned with how she felt inside. And what I mean by this is I sort of saw myself zoning out, and I've seen myself play this whole story out where I'll zone out for the rest of lunch, drop her off, and I'll go about my day and try to pull myself out of the funk and process through the energy that I maybe picked up that I didn't really want. But I decided to do something different this time. And I sort of came back into the room, saw myself going there. And we are also in the 59 of transparency and intimacy. And I was like, let's fucking go. Like, let's see. I trust this person. I trust our relationship. Let me lean into this moment and see what exactly is fucking happening here instead of pretending, being dishonest, and being superficial. So I let her continue and finish her sentence. And then I said, what is up? And it was a pattern interrupter, right? Because she was in the middle of a story, and it probably would have been most appropriate for me to reply to the story and ask a question or something like this. And she was like, huh? And I'm like, Your energy today feels meh, flatline. It feels like something might be up emotionally, energetically. Did you sleep well? What's going on? What's happening? What's up? And I could tell she was like confronted a little bit, um, challenged potentially a little bit, and maybe contemplative. Like, huh, am I flatlining? Am I sad? Am I tired? What's going on? I usually can get by in life just behaving this way. But here's someone who sees me and is seeing into me intimacy, the 59th gift, and is asking me to be transparent, the 59th city, in the present moment, the 20th city. And something shifted in the chemistry of our aura immediately. It was an immediate reward for my bravery. I was so grateful for that because we don't always get that. But it took a lot of courage to for me to bridge that gap and to attempt to bridge the gap and attempt to open up the dialogue. And she was like, I feel uninspired. Life is, it makes me want to cry. Um, what makes me want to cry is not so much her feeling uninspired, because that's okay, it happens, but those moments of intimacy that we miss because we don't lean in, because we don't have courage, because we don't trust the other with our challenge, or we don't trust ourselves with our intuition, our knowing, our sense of what we're picking up on in the field. And I think about what would happen if I had missed that moment. It would have just, there would have been another moment that would have came later on, but I'm so happy, and these are sort of tears of gratitude, that I recognized it and leaned in and took the risk of creating deeper intimacy and opening up the dialogue. Um, and also gratitude for her receptivity and honesty. It's just beautiful. It just reminds me of how important it is as us as humans moving along with other humans to be present, to really see them, especially if it's someone you know and have known and love, and they say everything's fine, and you know it's not. Will you make the time to press, to lean into that and say, I see you, and this isn't okay. Something's not okay. And of course, there's so many things I could add as, dialogue to weave into this. Like, you don't have to tell me, no pressure. It's okay to feel melancholy. It's okay, you're not feeling inspired today. You don't have to be on all the time. All of that could have potentially been a part of our dialogue. It just wasn't the appropriate situation for that. So I do want to like disclaim this in some way that it's situational. So you have to read your situation. You are the authority of your feeling, of your intuition, of that person, and you must discern how to communicate with them. I'm explaining to you a situation on how I communicated with this person based on what I felt was best. Oh, and it worked. So these aren't always things that you could just like write down a script and be like, okay, I'm going to do what Christina did next time this situation comes up. It's not like that. Even me, if this situation came up with the same person on a different day, I still might handle it differently with a different dialogue and different language and energy and inquisition. So she said, I'm feeling uninspired. I'm feeling meh. I'm feeling like when I wake up in the morning, I have to go into my day. I don't get to go into my day. Nothing's really giving me that juice, that excitement. And she's a generator. So it's really important for those energy beings to have something that moves them and drives them and excites them out of bed. They're here to follow their yes. They're here to have a juicy, yummy, magnetic, fucking creative energy. And so it's very apparent for me having that dialogue and language too, that I can see a generator who's frustrated or out of alignment, and I can be like, you are not doing your job. I want some juicy sacral energy flowing. What are you creating? What are you making? What are you designing? What is getting your creativity, your sacral fire going? And when that's not there, it's super apparent to me. But that's because that's the role that I play, and that's how I coach my clients. I've designed myself to recognize those patterns. So um, it was beautiful. And I think it was nice for her to just recognize and say, like, wow, yeah, I am in this place. I didn't just kind of slipped into it and I didn't recognize I had gotten here. And and immediately just recognizing where she was at. She didn't wallow, and I didn't wallow. I didn't encourage any wallowing. It was just recognition of it, and awareness of the contrast she was experiencing that she didn't maybe want to experience anymore. And immediately desires were being born of like, well, I would love to move my body in a way that inspired me. I wonder what could be with that, what that could look like. And I was like, oh my God, that reminds me, I was going to share with you this beautiful practice that my dear friend is doing with every Sunday of September. She's doing a sunrise yoga session on the beach, and I want you to come with me. Sign up. Here's the link. And she signed up right away, and I'm signing up, by the way. And if you want to sign up, I'm going to put the link in the bio of the Phoenix Diaries, because this is a beautiful, beautiful soul, and I'm excited to have something motivating me out of bed on a Sunday morning for all of September, which is local summer here in Wilmington, North Carolina. And to start my day with that, and to be with my people. So I'm looking forward to that. But it was beautiful. I had forgotten to talk about that because the frequency was such a mismatch that until we addressed the frequency and then she began to express what she was desiring, I remembered the things that I wanted to share that then lit her up and gave her something to look forward to and respond to. So she signed up and she's looking forward to sunrise services, basically, sunrise yoga sets in September, and that's starting soon. And it's little, but it's big. It's a shift. Immediately, the lunch changed. She changed. Light came into her eyes. And the conversation we had from that point on was juicy. It was present. It was magnetic. It was honest. It was memorable. Again, makes me want to cry because I think about how many times I have just numbed out, gone into my shadow because I'm witnessing a shadow, and maybe I'm protecting myself and not being brave to lean into the moment. And I've missed transforming a stagnant situation to a juicy situation. And it's okay. I'm not guilting or shaming myself, but it brings up an awareness in me that I'm recognizing of I don't want to miss those moments anymore. I want to be someone who recognizes them and is brave enough to lean into them and is brave enough to create a real, honest, intimate connection there. It's so beautiful. I'm so grateful for this medicine. The 59.6 is my purpose sphere in Gene Keys, which is the soil in which everything that I do in this world is inspired from. Its nutrients are gathered from my 59.6 and the healthiness of it. And I completely had forgotten about that yesterday when I was presented with the most beautiful medicine that I had to lean into. And I had been praying this week, okay, 59, show me. Show me what you would have me know. This is a very intimate key to me. This is important for my path and my work. Teach me, guide me, show me. Let me be available to you. And then yesterday, I was presented with a challenge that was an answer to that prayer and an opportunity. And I'm so happy I recognized it and leaned into it. And I hope that this inspires you to do the same. I hope that it inspires you to be transparent with yourself, intimate with yourself, and then therefore intimate with others. I could see how if I wasn't intimate with myself and my feeling of, I don't feel good in this person's presence right now, and I love this person, and we often feel good together. So I'm going to be honest and say, I'm feeling something. I'm seeing it and I'm going to say it. And it allowed her to see her and then her to see me. And then we created this, the whole field changed, the whole energy shifted. And I know whoever's watching this will understand what I mean by that. It's an animal instinct. You can feel calmness, excitement, connection, bloom. And you know exactly when that isn't present as well. You just know. It's your intuition. It's why I say we are all intuitive. We all are constantly reading, sensing, making sure we're safe, bridging connections. We're so tribal. We're so anchored in that primitive, primal knowing that you can't help but to recognize someone else. Now, I've already explained in this video all the ways that you can ignore and shove away and rationalize away those instincts. And I hope that this inspires you in a way because even still, someone like me who prays the prayer every day, show me, teach me, let me be a vessel of service, still has days where I completely fucking forget that prayer. And I have a moment where I'm like, I don't like this person's energy. I'm just going to freeze over and not engage. And I do that. And then some days I don't do that. And this is that was one of those days yesterday. And I'm proud of that moment of recognition. And I'm proud of that summoning of courage to just lean into it. And I recognize the times where I haven't had the energy to do it, or I haven't been brave enough to do it, or I didn't trust the dynamic to hold that challenge. Um, it's all learning. It's all beautiful. I hope that this helps you in some way, in many ways, and I will see you soon. I'm off to the beach, as you can tell. I'm in my bikini. Bye, y'all. Love you.